are stuck together to rhyme. Crash down to my knees.
Jehovah's Witnesses is a false movement. They've got their own Bible and they've interpreted it very, very different. I've had people say to me before, says, "Oh, your Jehovah's Witnesses the same as Christians, isn't it?" I'm like, no. I've heard about 2 people say that. And actually, I've got this book, World Religions and Cults. I'm not going to bother reading it all. But number 1 is that the fact that, well, I'll read it here when I find it. Right, Jehovah's Witnesses, the organisation, didn't begin until 1872. So they made a late arrival to the religious party, didn't they? 1872. They have done it the old-fashioned way, you know, gaining people by walking through neighbourhoods and knocking on one door at a time. A quick look at the Jehovah's Witnesses. The Jehovah's Witness movement was founded in the late 1800s by Charles T. Russell in Pittsburgh. There are currently over 6 million witnesses in 230 countries of the world. In the United States there are approximately 988,000 witnesses. That's about 1 out of every 277 residents. There are approximately 91,500 congregations worldwide, with about 11,500 of those in the United States. This is an old book, so those statistics are obviously going to be a bit wrong. According to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, Jehovah's Witnesses held almost 425,000 Bible studies in the United States and more than 4,750,000 Bible studies worldwide in calendar year 2000. In that same year there were about 181.5 million hours of sermons given in the United States and 1.1 billion hours of preaching throughout of the world by witnesses. Right, so that's just a little bit, a quick look at, you know, see what they're about at the minute. They must have 5 hours of meetings each week. They are well trained and they prepare for it. There is a 2-hour public meeting each Sunday that includes an analysis of an article from the Watchtower magazine. There is a 1-hour meeting during the week, usually on Tuesday, when one of the other publications of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society is studied. Another 2-hour meeting is held, usually on Thursday, for the preparation of a lesson from the Bible or a Watchtower publication. I'm saying the Bible. Well, it does say the Bible, but their version is very, very different. And they've changed it, not just little bits here and there, but it's changed a lot. I'll not bother reading that, because one of the main things what they don't believe in is the Trinity. There is God, but no Trinity. The witnesses believe that there is one God, Jehovah. There is only one correct name for God, Jehovah. The witnesses interpret the Bible to say that the exclusive use of the name Jehovah is a mark of the only true religion. They don't consider Jesus to be the Son of God. Instead, Jesus is actually Michael the Archangel, who was the first of God's creations. When Michael came to earth, he was called Jesus. After the resurrection, when Jesus returned to heaven, he was back to being Michael the Archangel. Because Jesus isn't God, the witnesses can't pray to him. It would be heresy to do so. Anyone found guilty of such a transgression or is disassociated from the organisation in disgrace. They have a concept of the Holy Spirit, but not as God. Rather, the Holy Spirit is an active force, like electricity. There is life after death for the witnesses, but no hell for everyone else. I mean, in the Bible, in our version, there is a lot of scriptures that do talk about hell. Like I have been talking about the Hell book by Bill Weiss, reading bits here, bits there, and obviously, you know, there's quite a big part of the Bible what, you know, it does mention hell. So they do believe that there's life after death just for the Jehovah's Witnesses, but no hell for everyone else. Just as Charles Russell determined as a young man the witnesses deny the existence of hell, that means there is no eternal punishment. All non-witnesses are annihilated immediately upon death. No prolonged pain or torture in an afterlife, just evaporation. For the witnesses there is an afterlife. There will be an elite ruling class of 144,000 who actually get admitted to heaven. Less than 9,000 of them live on the earth today. The rest of the witnesses will live on a new and improved earth, which Jehovah will establish in the millennium. Until then, the spirits of the faithful witnesses who die will remain in an unconscious state until they are resurrected in the millennium. There is salvation, but you have to work for it. Because Jesus, really Michael the Archangel, is not considered to be God, he doesn't play a significant role in the salvation process. His death on the cross cancels out Adam's sin. Since we don't have that sin nature hanging over our heads from a original ancestor, we have the chance to be righteous on our own. This happens by being a witness and testifying for Jehovah. The beliefs of the Jehovah's Witness, according to the Jehovah's Witnesses, this God, his personal name is Jehovah. He alone is God. There is no Trinity, which is a lie originated by Satan. There, in brackets, that obviously there is a Holy Spirit, but it is just another name for God's active force, humanity. Humans are God's creation. Those who are faithful Jehovah's Witnesses have an eternal spirit. Non-witnesses have no eternal nature after death. You just return to non-existence. Sin is falling short of God's perfection. Adam and Eve sinned, and all humans inherit sin from them. I've just mentioned salvation and the afterlife a bit. Now about the 144,000. Morals. There is little subjectivity in this regard. Morality is for the most part defined by the prohibitions and requirements set forth in specific teachings. Worship. True worship takes the form of adherence to certain requirements, particularly door-to-door evangelistic efforts. Reverence and allegiance to Jehovah prohibits participation in birthday parties and similar celebrations, displays of patriotism and military service. Obviously they're not allowed in the army and stuff like that, not allowed to have Christmas celebrations, birthday parties. Jesus, he was God's first creation. His pre-human existence was as Michael the Archangel. He was born of the Virgin Mary. He died on a stake, not a cross, and was raised as an immortal spirit by God. They are also against blood transfusions, birthday celebrations, Christmas celebrations, other parties and festivals. Right, I've just read similar to that anyway. Patriotic customs. The witnesses don't vote and they don't salute the flag. They are citizens of Jehovah's kingdom and they don't claim or owe allegiance to any other kingdom or nation. Serving in the military. The witnesses are part of Jehovah's army. Any other military organisation is the enemy. Consequently, as a matter of conscience, they do not practice in armed conflict or even in non-combative military duty. What's that again? Jehovah's Witnesses are fervent in their efforts at door-to-door witnessing. They spend hours each week studying their beliefs so that they are prepared for this missionary endeavour. They are motivated by a concern for your spiritual condition and by the fact that this door-to-door witnessing is a requirement for their salvation. The door-to-door evangelism has made Jehovah's Witnesses one of the fastest-growing religions. Jehovah's Witnesses around the world are part of a highly structured religious organisation under the auspices of the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. The controlling literature is the Bible, only in the authorised New World Translation, and the doctrinal magazines such as Watchtower and Awake. The religion was founded in 1872 around the prediction of Charles Russell that Christ was going to return to earth and establish a millennial kingdom in 1914. Although the witnesses identify themselves as Christian, they reject many of the foundational Christian doctrines such as the Trinity, the deity of Jesus, and salvation through Christ's death on the cross. On the basis of reverence and allegiance to Jehovah, the witnesses abstain from parties, patriotic expressions and military services. Dig deeper. The official website for Jehovah's Witnesses is watchtower.org. The site is designed for promotion, blah 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 blah. Not reading anymore, shall I? So it's more like, I think it's classed as a religion, but they've got their cultish ways, and they've changed everything. Although both Mormonism and Jehovah's Witnesses have both major conflicts with Christianity, there is some significant commonality, and it isn't too difficult to spot. As we move into, this is the next chapter of the book, which I probably won't be reading. Yeah, I'll not bother reading that, but that is, a little bit about and stuff. So they are not Christians at all. Understand, Christianity has many different denominations, even Catholics. Catholicism is maybe classed to some people as Christianity, but there's Presbyterians, obviously non-denominational Christians, Baptists, you get the Anglican, Methodists. There's different churches, but they're all Christian. But Jehovah's Witnesses are certainly not Christians. I would say as well that the Brethren group are Christians, because they do, obviously, I know I did say that it is a cult about a year or so ago on one of my videos. I might have to redo that video, because I did watch it the other day and I thought the music is a bit too loud in the background, so I might have to redo a video on the Brethrens. I'll have to see, because I do, in the video I do say that the Brethren is a cult, but I'm going to have to adjust that, because they are Christian. It's just a little off thing, know what I mean?